I don't have too much time, so I'm only going to show you, well, a couple more things. Back on the PornHarms.com main page, this time we're going to go look at the children's section. And the one I want to show you is this one, Exploited, Sex Trafficking, Porn Culture, and the Call to a Lifestyle of Justice. It's a PDF full of Bible quotes and Catherine McKinnon quotes, both. Sadly, not the first time that I've seen the two put together. But what I actually want to show you is something on the site that this PDF comes from. Now, if we go up to the URL and we go to just the main page, we see that they've changed their name and their organization's name to Pure Hope, which just sounds so very wholesome and hopeful and pure. If we look at the brochures, they have a cultural apologetics series, and one of the booklets in it is about homosexuality. It's just a preview, and the last paragraph goes like this. Let us first begin by addressing the myths surrounding the origins of homosexual behavior. There has been considerable research conducted in this area, specifically as it relates to the innate and immutable perspective, arguing that homosexual behavior is genetically predetermined. In other words, homosexuals are born that way, or more relevant to the Christian, God made them that way. This false assertion has proven foundational in the success of the homosexual agenda by convincing a majority of Americans that this is no something, something, something. It trails off there, but this is just another example of the brick wall of social construction. They're using the science. They're using the social construction. They use it all. And they make it sound so very plausible. But if you dig just a little bit, you can find that it's bullshit. But too many people don't dig. I don't know why. I see so many people here on YouTube making videos about religion and creationism and all of that sort of stuff. And they don't even know about the creationists in our brain science and the creationists in our sex science. And those are the areas that affect us the most. This brain science stuff about addiction, where they're going to be able to criminalize the very chemicals that our bodies produce. And that in itself, they'll tell us, is social construction, because it is your environment, your experiences, which affect the chemicals in your body, which affect who you become. They've got us covered, don't you see? And it doesn't matter how much of the science is true. It's the underlying assumptions and value judgments they make and the solutions that they pursue with their science. But there's one last thing, one last fun little emotional thing I'll show you that I came across in my poking around. And that's this little video they have. It's also on their YouTube channel. Here in the Pure Justice tab.
Sex trafficking is perhaps the most barbaric injustice of our time. It is the most brutal form of modern-day slavery.
The only thing more shocking than the nature of this injustice is its scope.
It's estimated that there are as many as 2 million sex slaves globally.
Experts believe
between 100,000 and 300,000 children and teens are trafficked into prostitution
and pornography every year in the U.S.
It's an issue of supply and demand for commercial sex in the 21st century is seemingly insatiable.
There's consensus in the anti-trafficking movement
that the normalization and proliferation of pornography is a driving force behind the explosion of sex trafficking. We live in a culture that commodifies human beings and exploits for profit both the consumer and the commodity.
The dominant attribute
of such a culture is bondage. It's well recognized that Christians are at the forefront of the anti-trafficking movement. What's problematic is that many in the Christian community are contributing to the demand for commercial sex. If we're not pursuing personal purity, that flows from a desire for justice and righteousness, then we're like the whitewashed tombs Jesus described, clean and respectable in appearance, but inside full of selfishness and injustice. Pure justice is our vision for the church becoming a city on a hill shining justice and mercy into the darkness of exploitation. The Pure Justice internship is key to that vision.
I didn't even realize that there are people being trafficked in our very own country, driven by the demand for commercial sex.
Yeah, I understand now with the Pure Justice internship that the church accomplishes change by each person choosing to live a life of purity and justice.
I watch that and it gives me such a strong emotional reaction, though I'm sure it's not the reaction they had hoped to evoke. All of the symbolism they use, it's saying to me an entirely different thing than what I think they expected it to be saying to me. These people, they look at this as their righteous duty, to bring justice to the world, and at the end there they've got that shot of a woman curled up on the map of the United States, and the United States is colored blood red. Then as the rain comes down, it's washed into this sort of purified neon green. But I see that blood as the blood of all of the dead that result from the sorts of policies that these types of fuckers promote. They intend to purify the nation, if not the world, I'm sure. And they're going to use our blood to do it. And whether or not we are purified in the process and come to our senses is besides the point. They don't care. They just as soon see us dead. And that's my truth about the anti-porn movement.